Hey guys, welcome to Tabletop Warbands. In this video we are playing Warhammer 40k in a 500 points match that sees Space Marines vs Necrons. I'm Simone and I will play the Marines.
Hi, I'm Andrea and I will play the Necrons. Before we started, if you are subscribed to the channel, welcome back. If you are not subscribed yet and want to help us, join our growing community now by clicking on the subscribe button. And don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss the next battle reports. Thank you guys.
Today's mission is Center Ground. The two armies will have to deploy within these two areas. There are 4 objectives and they are arranged in this way. As secondary objectives, Necrons have chosen Code of Combat, Purge the Vermin and Ancient Machineries, while the Space Marines have Slay the Warlord, Attrition and Engagement on Fronts. Both armies start with 3 command points.
Let's move on to the description of the armies. After facing the Astra Militarum, the Necrons spotted an Imperial city and without thinking too much, decided it had to be destroyed. But again, some annoying blue cans are trying to slow the Necrons' advance. Make them regret this decision. My Necrons belong to the Nephrekh dynasty, which gives my unit a 6+ invulnerable save and allows them to translocate, adding 6 inches to the movement characteristic when they advance and ignoring all obstacles. The leader of this army is the Overlord, equipped with Warscythe and Resurrection Orb. As general trait, I chose the Dynasty 1 Skin of Living Gold, which gives a -1 to every hit roll made against the Overlord. The relic I gave him is Sempiternal Weave, which gives the bearer +1 toughness and wounds characteristics. Then we have a Royal Warden, equipped with relic Gauss Blaster. I think he will be in charge of holding one of the objectives. The first core unit of this army is composed of 5 Immortals armed with Gauss Blasters. Next in line, we have 10 Necron Warriors armed with Gauss Reaper, a short-range weapon that can deal massive damage. Then we have 3 Scorpek Destroyers. With their weapons, they should be able to tear through enemy armor with ease. Accompanying the Scorpeks is a Canoptek Plasmacyte, which will be used to buff the destroyers.
After facing a detachment of Orks in their camp, Reginald's army is sent to intercept a group of Necrons that are advancing towards the Governor's city. Their mission is to destroy or slow down the Xenos. The general of the army is Lieutenant Primaris Reginald, a veteran of many battles. He's armed with a mastercrafted power sword and a bolt pistol. As warlord trait, I chose Champion of Humanity, and as a relic he has the Armor Indomitus, which adds a wound, gives him a save characteristic of 2+, and once per battle he can activate a Force Field, which grants him a 3+ invulnerable save until the end of the phase. The core of my detachment are 2 Assault Intercessor units, the 5th and 6th Squad, made up of 5 models each and both armed with heavy bolt pistol and Astartes chainsword. In support of the infantry is the unit that our community has given its name to, the Cobalt Eagles. These Outriders will be the tip of my spear, throwing themselves into the fray. And finally, a multi-melta armed ATV Invader, a piece of my army that proved particularly useful in previous battles.
I deployed my units in a way that allows me to take the central objectives in the first round. The Warriors will aim to capture Objective 4, while the Scorpeks will go towards Objective 3. The Warden is on top of Objective 1, and I think that he will not move from that spot.
I try to deploy my units as hidden as possible, using the smoke for the Marines on the vehicles and the pipelines for the infantry. Unfortunately, a unit is not in cover, but I needed to be within range of the Objective 2 so I can reach it without having to advance. In this case, I really hope to lose the initiative roll. I need to start second.
Rolling for initiative. Red dice for Necrons and blue dice for Space Marines. 4! That's good!
I've never been so happy to have rolled a 1.
Before deploying the armies, I assigned the command protocols that will activate at the beginning of each turn. Thanks to the recent Necrons buff, I can also choose a protocol that will remain active throughout the game. Obviously, I chose the protocol of the Sudden Storm since both directives are activated thanks to the dynasty. All my units have a +1 to the movement characteristic, and when they perform an action they can shoot without that action to fail. In the first round is also active the protocol of the Vengeful Stars, Directive 2. Enemy units does not benefit from cover when shot. In the movement phase, my leader uses his ability My Will Be Done on the Immortals, giving them a +1 to hit for every attack. Then my Warden moves to have the Marines in sight. The Scorpeks get closer to the Assault Intercessors while the Plasmacyte translocate, and with a movement of 16 inches, he reaches Objective 2. The Immortals move toward the Intercessors and at the same time hide from the ATV. The Warriors move close enough to the Objective 4 to hold it, but keeping the distance with the bikes. Finally, the Overlord moves close to the Warriors waiting to charge in the next turn. At the end of the movement phase, the Warriors do the secondary objective action Awaken Ancient Machinery. At the start of the next turn, I gain 3 victory points. Shooting phase. The Warden aims the 5th Assault Intercessor Squad and shoots 2 shots at 3+. Hitting both. Strength 5, Toughness 4, wounding with 3. Both wounded.
Thanks to Armor of Contempt, the penetration is only -1, so I say with 2 dice at 4+. Not even 1. With 2 wounds per dice, they are 2 dead Marines. What a bad start.
The Immortals target the 6th Assault Intercessor Squad, and to help them, I spend 1 command point for the stratagem Relentless Onslaught. For each hit roll of 6, they score an additional hit. Then they make 10 shots at 2+. 9 hit, of which 4 6s. 13 wounds at 3+ for the higher strength. 8 wounds. Not bad.
The protocol of the Necrons denies me the cover, so it's 8 dice at 4+ to save the Marines. Oh, okay, I was already desperate imagining them all dead. Instead, we only have 1 dead and 1 wounded. I can accept it. For once, the armor protected well.
The Scorpex charge the intercessors in front of them. Need 8 inches to succeed. 8! Amazing roll, boys! Eliminate them with no mercy. The Scorpex start the fight face first, and make 8 attacks with the Hyperphase Threshers and 3 attacks with the Hyperphase Reblade, all at 3+.
To try and save my Marines, I use the stratagem Transhuman Physiology for 1 command point. Necrons can only wound on a 4+.
Starting with the 8 attacks. Rerolling the ones thanks to their ability. 6 hits. Wounding with 4 for the stratagem. Just 2.
Okay, 2 dice to save at 5+. Double 1. Well, fun stuff. I literally just finished praising the Marine armor.
Last 3 attacks at 3+. All hit. Wounding with 4. 2 wounds.
This time I need a 6. I don't know what I can do for him. Yeah, he's dead too. The whole team was wiped out. I was hoping they could hold a little longer, but okay, that's what it is. In Immoral Phase, the only unit that has suffered losses and is still on the battlefield is the 6th Squad. Having leadership 9, they pass the test automatically. In my first turn, the Devastator Doctrine is active, and all Space Marine heavy and grenade weapons have an additional -1 penetration. The first to move are the bikes approaching the Warriors and the Objective 4. I need them to do a lot of damage this turn. The Assault Intercessors move within objective range by bypassing the Scorpex. Reginald climbs over the pipes and joins the Marines ready to help them. The Outriders aim with their twin bolt rifles and open fire on the unsuspecting Warriors. That's 12 shots at 3+. A lot of failed shots, 7 successful. With strength 4 and toughness 5, they wound at 5. 4! Okay, that's good.
4+ to save. Just 1. Reanimation protocols. For every 5+, 1 Immortal comes back to life. Just 1. 2 Immortals dead. Could have been worse.
Now let's move to the 6th Squad, which is armed with the heavy bolt pistol and does 3 shots at 3+ on the Scorpex. All hit. Again, 5+ to wound. And this time, they all failed. The Sergeant throws a crack grenade. 1 shot at 3+. Obviously, another fail. Reginald, please, try to do something better. He also throws a crack grenade at the Scorpex at 2+. This must be a joke. What was that? Only my last hope remains, the ATV. It is armed with a multi-melta and a twin autobolt rifle. Let's start with the multi-melta targeting the Scorpex. 2 shots at 3+. Oh, okay, they hit. With strength 8 and toughness 5, it wounds at 3+. 1. I use the command point to reroll the dice. Better, they both wound.
Too much penetration, so I use the vulnerability at 6.
Nope. Each dice causes d6 wounds. 4 and 3. There are 2 deaths, I would say. Now the ATV fires with the twin autobolt rifle. 6 shots at 3+. Just 2 failed. That's okay. This time it has a strength of 4, and with toughness 6 it needs a 5 to wound. Only 1 wound.
No penetration this time, so saving with 3+. Saved! Good! Now, since 2 Scorpex have died, I can roll 1 dice for each model's wound, and thanks to the reanimation protocols, every 3 5+, 1 Scorpex comes back to life. 6 dice in total at 5+. 4! Enough to reanimate 1 Scorpex. Unlucky, mate. Maybe next time.
The phase I was waiting for has finally arrived. It's time for the charges. The 6th Squad charges the Scorpex and would automatically succeed, but I still roll the dice to see how far they can move. 8. Perfect! All models can be placed well. Reginald follows his man and charges. And he too has no problem reaching the enemies. The Outriders direct their bikes towards the Warriors.
I spend 1 command point to shoot Overwatch with the Warriors. They aim at the bikes and fire 20 shots at 6+. Hitting only 4. Same strength and toughness, so wounding with 4. 2 wounds out of 20 shots.
2 wounds to save at 4+. Exactly what I needed! The bikes now need 9 to reach the Necrons. I'm calling the numbers! The Outriders arrange themselves as best they can to get all 3 into combat. Let's start with the bikes against the Warriors. The Marines have additional attacks in charge and the Outriders have even more. 19 attacks at 3+ against the small robots. 12 hit. I was hoping for something more. Same strength and toughness, so I need a 4+. Only 4. A bit sloppy as a charge.
Saving with 5+. Just 1. Reanimation protocols at 5+. Just 1. Meaning that 2 warriors will leave the battlefield. Now it's the warriors' turn to respond. They pile in to better fight the bikes and unleash 8 attacks at 3+. 6 hits. Higher toughness, so wounded with 5. Just 2. It's okay.
2 dice to save a 3+. And 1 is always there. 1 wound to the Outrider. The 6th squad fights the Scorpex, making 17 attacks at 3 thanks to the charge. And to help them in combat, I use the stratagem Gene-Wrought Might for 1 command point. Every 6 to hit they make wounds automatically.
I use a command point for the stratagem Whirling Onslaught. Until the end of the phase, if an attack is made against the Scorpex, subtract 1 to the wound roll.
Come on, I need a lot of 6s! 9 normal hits and 2 6s that wound automatically. With -1 to wound, my Marines need 6. Only 1 dice wounds, which added to the other 2 is 3 in total.
Saving with 4+. 1 wound through.
Reginald also joins the fray and makes 5 attacks at 2+ on the Scorpex. All hit, great! He also has the -1 to wound, so he needs 5. 2 wounds.
Saving with 6. 1 saved! Rerolling the 2 with a command point. Nope. 1 Scorpex is dead. Rolling 3 dice for reanimation protocols with 3 5+, he's back to life. Nope. Goodbye, mate. The last Scorpex unleashes his attack on the enemy leader and makes 3 attacks at 3+. All hit, wounding with 3. Just 1, of course.
With -3 penetration and thanks to the armor Indomitus, I have to do 5+ to save him. Almost. I use a command point to reroll the dice. Oh, there you go! Alright!
This first round went pretty well. I managed to take out one of the assault intercessor squads, and Simone's charges were pretty bad. It is true that I have lost 2 Scorpex, but it's not a problem. In the next round, my Overlord will charge the bikes, and I hope he will be able to eliminate them without problems. Keep it up, guys!
This first round was a little weird for me. I did not expect Andrea could charge my unit in the first round and take it out so easily. And what's more, the charge of the Outriders did practically nothing. At least I managed to do some damage to the Scorpex, which are the most annoying unit for me. In the next round, I will have to try to take control of some objective, or I will find myself behind in victory points. May the Emperor help me.
At the start of the second turn, the protocol of the Eternal Guardian Directive 2 activates. When charged, my units can either hold steady and hit Overwatch with 5+ instead of 6, or set to defend, and add 1 to the hit roll in the fighting phase. Then I earn 10 victory points for controlling 2 objectives plus another 3 points, thanks to the warriors who have completed the action of the secondary objective Ancient Machineries, reaching 13 victory points. My leader does the action My Will Be Done on the Immortals to give them a +1 to hit. Then he moves closer to the bikes to avoid Infinity Charge. The Scorpex disengages and goes to hide from the ATV behind the smoke, while the Plasmacyte translocate and position itself near the Scorpex. The Immortals start the shooting phase by firing on the intercessors in front of them, making 6 attacks at 2+. Hey, where are you going? Nice! 5 hits. Higher strength, so wounding with 3. 3 wounds.
I have to do 4+ with the dice. I'm not rolling well enough with the saving throws. 1 dead and 1 wounded. Only 3 Marines left, and 1 of them is wounded.
The next to shoot is the Warden, who also targets the intercessors by firing 2 shots at 3+. Both hit. Wounding with 3. Both wounds. Nice!
I need 4+, come on! At least I saved one. Another Space Marine finds himself face down in the dust.
The Overlord charges the bikes, and being 2 inches from them, he automatically enters combat. Once in range with the bikes, the Overlord makes 4 attacks at 2+ with his Warscythe. Missing 1, strength 7, toughness 5, wounding with 3. Just 2 wounds.
Ah, I thought worse! With 2 dice, I need to roll 6. There it is! 1 dice was successful. They are 2 wounds. This bike drops to 1 wound, but is still alive. The Outriders fight back on the Warriors. Having been charged, they can have additional attacks. 13 attacks at 3+ on the enemy infantry. 11 hit, not bad. Strength 4 as the toughness, so I wound with 4+. 5 wounds, better than before.
-1 penetration, so the Warriors save at 5+. Just 1. Reanimation protocols at 5+. 2! Nice! Only 2 Warriors leave the battlefield. The 6 Warriors remaining respond with 6 attacks at 3+. 5 hits! Same strength and toughness, so wounding with 4. And, for some weird reason, I rolled only 4 dice instead of 5. 2 wounds.
Simple Warriors can't kill my bike. 3+ to save it. Nice! Finally a good roll!
At the end of the turn, I gain 4 victory points thanks to the secondary objective Purge the Vermin, reaching 17 points total.
On my second turn, Tactical Doctrine is active, which adds an additional -1 to the penetration of rapid fire and assault weapons. Then, thanks to the 2 objectives I control, I earn 10 victory points. Let's see what we can do in this round. I have no intention of leaving the bikes near the Overlord, so the Outriders withdraw from the fight. The ATV moves to a better position for clear line of sight. The 6th squad moves within the quadrant of the table while remaining in control of the objective. Reginald instead moves towards the Immortals. In the shooting phase, Reginald tries to throw a crack grenade on the Immortals, making 1 shot at 2. Great, hit! With strength 6, he wounds at 3. Reginald, you're letting me down a lot. The 6th squad shoots with the pistols against the Immortals, 2 shots at 3, if they manage to hit. Oh, okay, finally! With toughness 5 of the Immortals, the Marines must roll a 5. 1! Alright!
Saving with 3+ thanks to the cover. Easily saved.
My chapter is that of the Ultramarines, and as a special rule, they can shoot despite retreating from a fight, but with a -1 to the hit roll. Then, 2 Outriders fire at the Immortals while 1 of the bikes fires at the Warriors. Let's start with the Immortals. 8 shots at 4+. 4 hit, half. With lower strength, they wound at 5+. A wound.
-2 penetration, so saving with 5+. Nope. Reanimation protocols at 5+. Nope again. 1 Immortal dead.
The remaining bike instead makes 4 shots against the Warriors. 3! Nice aim! It wounds at 5. Ah, never mind.
It's time to go, my friend.
The ATV eats up its multi-melta and opens fire on the Warriors, the only valid target it has in sight. 2 shots at 3. Only 1. Strength 8, toughness 4, wounds at 2. Yep, wounded.
Too much penetration, so invulnerable save at 6. Nothing to do.
Now the twin autobolt rifle, 6 shots at 3 again on the Warriors. 4 hit. This time it has strength 4, so it wounds at 4. 2 wounds.
-1 penetration this time, so saving with 5+. Nope. 3 dice to roll for the reanimation protocols at 5+. Not even 1. 3 Warriors left alive.
Reginald launches his war cry and charges the Immortals. He needs at least 4 to reach them. 6, no problem. My leader enters combat. Let's start with Reginald and the Immortals. He fights them by making 5 attacks at 2+. 4 hit, not bad. With strength 5 and toughness 5, he wounds at 4. Only 1 wound. Terrible.
Invulnerable save at 6? Nope. Reanimation protocols at 5+. Yep, he's alive. The 2 Immortals respond with 4 attacks at 3+. Just 1. Same strength and toughness, so wounding with 4. Wounded.
2+ to save him. Yeah, if nothing else, he has good armor.
Not quite the best turn, but at least I still have all my units alive. In the next round, I hope to eliminate the Intercessor squad on Objective 2 in order to start building a gap in victory points. The Overlord has disappointed me quite a lot in this turn. Let's hope he recovers in the next one because I need those bikes to disappear.
The second round went much better. Thanks to the secondary objective engagement on fronts, I earned 2 victory points at the end of the round, reaching 12. If Andrea had managed to eliminate the bikes with his Overlord, the game could have ended immediately, but now I'm back in the game. I have to hope the marine armor begins to protect them properly, otherwise they will be short-lived.
In the third round is active the Protocol of the Hungry Void, Directive 2. My units have a +1 to strength characteristic if they charge or were charged. Then I earn 10 victory points thanks to the 2 objectives in my possession, reaching 27 total victory points. Then my Overlord uses his ability My Will Be Done on the Warriors, giving them a +1 to hit. After that, he uses the Resurrection Orb, activating the Warriors' Resurrection Protocols, rolling 1 dice for each dead, so 7 dice at 5+. Rerolling the 1 thanks to the Warriors' ability, just 2. Happy to see you back, guys! The Overlord moves near the bikes once again to avoid failing the charge. The Warriors instead move closer to the Assault Intercessors. The Immortals disengage, and the Royal Warden takes a few steps back. The Plasmacyte and the Scorpack move closer to the ATV to charge it in the next phase. At the end of the movement phase, the Warriors start the action of the secondary objective, Ancient Machineries. The Warriors shoot the Assault Intercessors 10 shots at 2+. Hitting 7. Higher strength, so wounding with 3+. 5 wounds.
That's a lot of shots! 5 dice at 4+. Wow! This can be considered a nice roll! Only 1 wound. Take this little dice. It's a gift.
The Warden tries to eliminate the Intercessor squad, making 2 shots at 3+. 1. Rerolling with a common point. Still 1. Really? Wounding with 3. Wounded.
Only 1 dice to save at 4+. Yes, this was safe too.
The Plasmacyte and the Scorpack begin the charge phase aiming the ATV, starting with the Plasmacyte. 7. Nice work. Now the Scorpack. 8. Even better. Nice. Go play with the toy car, guys. I want to see it destroyed. The Overlord charges the bikes, and being less than 2 inches away, I don't need to roll the dice. I know that this is risky, but I need an extra attack. The Plasmacyte uses his ability Infused Madness on the Scorpack, rolling a d6, and with 2+, the target has +1 to strength and attacks characteristics, but with a 1, one model in that unit is destroyed. Rolling the d6. 4! Nice! The Scorpack starts the fight, making 4 attacks at 3 on the ATV. 3 hit, strength 8, toughness 5, wounding with 3. 1 wound.
Ouch! This is a hard hit. With -4 penetration going to -3 for Armor of Contempt, I need to do 6. Nope, not this time. 3 wounds suffered.
Let's try with the Plasmacyte. 1 attack at 4+. Yeah, didn't think so.
The ATV fights back on the Plasmacyte, making 4 attacks at 3+. And hitting them all. With strength 5, it wounds with 5. Only 1. It's okay, it's not a melee vehicle.
Saving with 4+? Of course. What a joke.
The ATV takes 3 wounds and remains with 5. All in all, it went well.
The Plasmacyte is gone. The Overlord starts the fight with the bikes, making 4 attacks at 2+. All hit! Wounding with 3+. Just 2.
-3 penetration, the bikes need 6. It would have been nice to be able to do at least 1. 2 wounds suffered, which means that 1 bike was destroyed and another one is left with 2 wounds. The 2 remaining bikes try to take revenge and fight the Overlord, making 9 attacks at 3 as they have been charged. 6 hit. The Overlord has toughness 6, so they wound at 5. Only 1. The Marines look out of shape today.
The Overlord has invulnerability at 4+. 5. He's okay. At the end of the round, I earned 2 victory points thanks to the secondary objective Purge the Vermin, reaching 29 in total.
My third turn begins, and the Assault Doctrine is active. Each pistol and melee weapon has an additional -1 to penetration. By controlling 2 objectives, I earn 10 victory points and reach 22. The Outriders, for the second time in 2 rounds, disengage from combat, trying to keep the Overlord away. The ATV also quickly pulls away from the Scorpack. Reginald instead moves close to Objective 1, ready to take control. The Outriders open fire by targeting the 2 Immortals in front of them. 8 shots at 4+ due to the Ultramarines special rule. 5 hits, 5+ to wound, and no wounds. What harm have I done to you? The ATV tries to take out the Scorpec before it can charge again. 2 shots of Multi-Melta at 4+. No successful shots. I use a command point to reroll the dice. Well, worse than before. The dice god seems to have abandoned me. Now with the secondary weapon, the ATV makes 6 shots at 4+. 2 hit. Needs 5+ to wound. And obviously none. Reginald shoots with his pistol at the Warden, making 1 shot at 2+. Hit. He also wounds with 5. It almost feels like the Ork shooting phase. The 2 Marines fire on the Warriors with the pistols. 2 shots at 3. Oh, a successful shot! 4+ to wound this time. No, correct me. The Orks shoot much better. Reginald tries to charge the Warden. He wants to prove that he is still worth something. 7+ to reach the Necron. That's not a 7. I reroll the dice with a command point. Okay, we did it. My leader joins the Warden and prepares to fight. The Primaris Lieutenant starts first, making 5 attacks at 2+. Please, do something. Not a good start. 3 dice at 4+ to wound. I have chills. Really.
Invulnerable save at 6? Nope. The Warden responds with 3 attacks at 3. Just 1. Wounding with 3. Wounded!
Try to defend yourself at least. 2+ to be successful. Okay, saved.
2 wounds left to you. Okay, I thought my turn was bad, but Simone's was even worse. This is a clear sign of fate. Right now, we are tied in victory points, but I hope that things will change in the next round. It would be enough for me to eliminate the Intercessor squad and challenge Objective 3 to keep Simone from taking points in the next round. Come on guys, we are close to victory.
Something must have happened to my dice. Surely Andrea must have touched them while I wasn't seeing or something. But how can a Space Marine shoot and fight so badly? Fortunately, this round I scored points for attrition and engage on all fronts, reaching 29 victory points. I can still win, but everything will depend on how Andrea's next round goes. Come on Marines, you have to resist!
At the start of the round, I gained 8 victory points thanks to the objective controlled, and the action Ancient Machinery, reaching 37 points total. In this turn, the Protocol of the Undying Legions, Directive 1 is active, which is useless because no one needs to regain wounds thanks to the ability Living Metal. The Overlord uses once again his ability My Will Be Done on the Warriors to give them the +1 to hit. Then my Immortals move back behind the pipes. The Royal Warden disengaged from combat and positioned himself to contest the Objective 1. The Overlord gets closer to the bikes and the Scorpec gets closer to the ATV. At the end of the movement phase, the Warriors do the action Awaken Ancient Machinery. The Warriors begin the shooting phase, aiming at the Intercessor squad and making 10 attacks at 2+. 8 hit, wounding with 3+. 7 wounds, nice!
Okay, 7 dice is a lot, but never say never. Come on, all 4 or more. I'm kidding, they are definitely dead. You did what you could, I don't blame you. There are powers greater than us at play.
The Immortals target the bikes, and to help them I use 1 command point for the stratagem Relentless Onslaught. For each hit roll of 6, they score an additional hit. Then they make 4 attacks at 3+. Or not. But okay, it's not a problem. The Overlord charges the bikes and automatically enters combat. Same for the Scorpec. He automatically enters combat with the ATV. Let's start the fighting phase with the Scorpec. 3 attacks at 3+. Rerolling the 1 thanks to the Scorpec ability. Better. Wounding with 3 for the higher strength. Rerolling with a command point. Both wound.
No, my ATV! Leave it alone! 6 to save it. Nothing. 6 was too hard to do. I'm sorry, little vehicle friend. You have to leave the battlefield.
Now the Overlord on the bikes with 4 attacks at 2. 3 hits. Wounding with 3. 2 wounds.
My bikes are in danger too. I have to do 6. Now my dice have given up. They don't even try to roll well. 1 Outrider died and the other has 2 wounds. What a devastation. The remaining bike attacks the leader. Not that changes anything, but just for fun. 5 attacks at 4+ for the Overlord's -1. Only 1. 5+ to wound. Nope, I would say the game is definitely over. Victory of the Necrons.
Wow, nice game! After my first round, I was sure that the game wouldn't last longer than that, but in the end, I also risked losing. Simone's third round was decisive. Those 0 injuries inflicted in the shooting phase, I think they made me win the game. With the new buff, the Necrons are even more fearsome than before. I can't wait to play them again.
Okay guys, we need to have a serious discussion about today's play. I can't accept Space Marines doing a bad performance like this. Yes, okay, in the end the game was pretty close, but certainly not thanks to the rolls that my Ultramarines made. I would say that Andrea had bad dice rolls too. This balanced the game a bit and made us get to the 4th round. But from today, 50 push-ups every day until they get back in shape. And with this, we conclude. If you like our content and want to help us grow the channel, we have an account on the platform Buy Me a Coffee where you can support us with donations. Any help you can give us to improve the channel is welcome. We are counting on you. The link is in description.
And if you have come this far, write the word unexpected in the comments to let us know. You are the best. And if you are not yet subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, leave a like and write us in the comments. We are always curious to know what you think.
That's it guys!
See you next video!